Hello and namaste to everyone joining us today from around the globe. This is me, Jesse Shiman Krishna Srestha, 2019-2020 JCI APDC Development Officer from Nepal. I am pleased to welcome you all today in APDC Connects Together Future Forward. Today we have very special guest as a speaker to discuss and talk about entrepreneurship. 69th JCI World President, 2014 JCI World President, Sain Bhaskaran, President Sain of from Thrissura, Kerala, India. He joined JCI in 1999. He served several positions in JCI at local and international level and was adorned as the first Keralite and second Indian to become JCI World President. President Sain is a very dynamic personality. By profession, he is the CEO of Hotel Dreamland, Dreams Digital Color Lab, Aqua Sign Integrated Farms, Golden Gate Travel and Tours. So he's in hospitality and tourism business sector. Welcome, President Sain, for APTC Connects Together Future Forward events.
Thank you so much for the invitations. I always have a high regards for the Asia Pacific Development team. You are doing a great job. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you, President Sain. Before starting the interview, how is everything, President Sain? How is your health and how are days going on?
All going good, all going good. So in spite of we are into the tourism industry, so we are trying hard to survive, making policies and getting overcome these pandemic situations.
Thank you. So now let's start our interview, President Sain. As today we're talking about entrepreneurship. What reflection would you like to share about your own entrepreneurship journey?
Yeah, maybe I had many platform in terms of as a president, how my journey in the JCI or all those things. I had a lot of interviews. Maybe this is the first time I am appearing in the platform of JCI as an entrepreneur. So I will brief my thing in entrepreneurship. I would say I'm in the second generation of entrepreneurship. Second generation entrepreneur, born in a business family. I came into the real business scenario in the age of 15 when I completed my schooling. So after here we call pre-degree. Most of the places they will call after schooling they will call as a undergraduate or graduation. So all those things they will be calling. But I stepped into the business in the age of 15. You can imagine the situations when somebody is stepping into the new business or new into the business. Everything will be fresh for them. Nothing will be similar. They will be fully into the studies earlier days. And when coming into the business, the business conversations, the things what they are fully involved in the daily process, all may change. So my was not fully into it. I will go to the business. At the same time, I will go to the studies. So my college was just near to my home, so that I can pursue both. That was my situations. The good thing now when I evaluate my entrepreneurial journey, the good thing in my entrepreneurial journey, I feel that when I could go into each and every sections in my business, like different departments. I'm basically a hotelier. I'm well versed with all the departments in my premise because when I was so junior, I can go and sit in any department. I can be in the F&B production. I can be in the F&B service. F&B means food and beverage service, food and beverage production, in the housekeeping, front office, and all those things. And then after when I completed my graduations, I thought, okay, something about this industry I should be know in detail. So in the graduation, I selected tourism and commerce. as the main subjects. Then after that, I pursued for legal things. I graduated in law. So I will be knowing about the legality, how the things will be going, how the procedures in the legal and all. It's all helped me. Then I decided to get one more diploma in the hotel management. So I went for it. So basically, in our younger age, I have the subject knowledge, I have the legal knowledge, I have the accounting knowledge, and also strong foundations in all the departments because I was trained in each department. Now, when I sit in one place, I can very well know what is happening over there and what's the thing. That's the first thing in my career as an entrepreneur. Later, I developed the rest other business and later on after me having my graduations.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's amazing to know that you start your journey in very early age in 15, and that's really a very motivating factor for all the listeners who's listening around the globe. So what type of entrepreneur you feel like when you start, and what type have you involving now?
So I would say in the early stage, when I was into the business, it's like a one-man show. It's like a people-oriented business. Now it's a process-oriented business. Process-oriented means we developed a lot of systems. Earlier, it depends on the people who is the manager. It's going to decide what is the business going to happen. Now it's not the person who is sitting in the chair. It's the system is making the things happening over there. The main turning point for me, I would say in detail, it's happened in 2002 when I went to the Academy of Business Leadership and Excellence in India. JCI India have a wonderful program in business area. So because we have a lot of opportunities in JCI, management opportunity, management opportunities, personal opportunities, community opportunities, and business opportunities. Like we have international opportunities, but very rarely we used to do in a business opportunity. But JCI India have a very good project called ABLE. You may be knowing about the ABLE, Academy of Business Leadership and Excellence. 2002, I happened to attend, I went for attending the Academy of Business Leadership and Excellence. So it's a 2.5 days training programs. It's in the, so in that program, there will be a pilot faculty and three faculties, assistant supporting faculties will be there. So they will be sitting with the business entrepreneurs. So they will be supporting us with a lot of material, supporting system, how the business, they will hear what our business is and how we can progress on it. My question was, my worries was on those days, how, because I was a little bit involved that time, I was a little bit involved, started involving in the JCI movement. So that's a lot of travel started for me. So I was asking the pilot faculty, how can I run business without my presence? That was one of my questions. And he said, this is the thing, you have to make a system. From there onwards, my priority was to make a system in the business. So initially, when I was stepping into the business, it was just person oriented, and now it's a system oriented. That's I won't want to say the volume of the business what we gained or how things smoothly it's running now. I can tell you, vouch you, that if you can make a system oriented or process oriented entrepreneur organizations, then it's going to be very smooth for you to manage some other things as well. 2014, when I was the JCA president, or in the process of me becoming the JCA president, from 2005 to 2014, non-stop, I was traveling for different positions in JCI. But because of the process-oriented system, the things worked for me. That's something unique and really good for me. That's the process shifted, was very helpful for me.
Thank you, Mr. President. Of course, the system and the team always makes the business so easy to enhance and flourish. So now it's said that entrepreneurship is all about passion to prove and the gut feeling of achieving success through risk taking. So what is your viewpoint and advice for the youth or for the listener?
So I totally agree, because without passion, nothing is going to work out. And if you are going to work on something, uh, if you are not passionate on it, you will not going to succeed on it. That's what I would say. So I totally agree on this statement. Passion is one of the main ingredient for success. I would say entrepreneur is someone who jumps off a cliff and build a plane on the way down. I would say the definition of the entrepreneur like that. Entrepreneur is someone who jumps off a cliff. Cliff means a rock or a steep, a mountain, and build a plane on the way down. It's something really entrepreneurs are doing like that. He is taking a risk, jumping from certain point, but definitely he will be having something unique in his hand. The passion, a lot of things he will be possessing, but by the time of the landing, here the plane will be ready and the smooth landing should be there. And the clue is that when you are starting, everything should not be in your hand, but the master plan should be in with you. You may see, you might have seen the book of Jim Collins, read the books of Jim Collins. It's a three circles of head hoc principles, concepts. What you are deeply passionate about. That's the first circle he's telling about. What you are deeply passionate about. What drives your economic engine. What you can be the best at in the world. That's a three main circle he's speaking about in the Jim Collins books. So what is passion? Passion is nothing which will not make you tired. It will drives you in all the hardship. It will bring you, save you in all the risk. So passion is the very, 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 very important ingredients for success. I totally agree on it. Risk taking, what I told you. So entrepreneurs is jumping from the cliff, and that's the risk taking what they are doing. Recently, you might have seen, we all seen SpaceX. Elon Musk is the founder of SpaceX. They sent people to the space. That's all we, how much risk they have taken. That's something we can see in our journey as an entrepreneur. So risk and passion is both complement in entrepreneurship.
Perfect, Mr. President. We can understand that how you manage the JCI and your entrepreneurship journey also with the process-oriented system. And it's like now we all have our blood as a blue because you have managed in very properly. That's a very good thing. And also at Jim Collins, there are a lot of the points in the book which makes more motivated and enhanced in idea also. Now moving ahead, Mr. President, an organization comes into existence only because of efforts put in by individuals who will be prepared to assume responsibility of her. Anyone can be. What are your suggestions to the young minds who are at the crossroad and in confusion of where to how to start, Mr. President?
How to start and where to start. They are in the crossroads.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. So that's because the when I told I am the second generation entrepreneur, the rest all business what we started is we know what should be the real ingredients. We first I will say, if you are confused, please cross check on something like this. Are you passionate is very important question. First ask yourself, are you passionate? The second one, do you have a sufficient capital with you? Do you have sufficient infrastructure? Do you have a technical know-how? Because you should have a clear idea on what exactly what you are doing. Because you should not, in the beginning, in any profession, in any business, in any enterprise, your involvement should be will be much more than what it's like a continued business. There is no like a fixed formula. This should be first and this should be second. It should not be like that. When we are taking a gun, we will say, if you want to shoot something, we will say, first take the gun, load the gun, aim, then fire. So what's coming there? Load, aim, and fire. In the case of taking a gun and firing, there is no proposition in entrepreneurs. This should be the first, this should be second, this should be third. It can be like load, fire, and aim, or fire, aim, and load. It can be any propositions in the business. Ultimate aim is you have to trigger. That's the ultimate aim. You have to trigger. You may, we all heard about Bill Gates. What was his first turning point in his life? Maybe I will say he aimed, then he fired, then only he loaded or something like that. Because once he saw an advertisement in a column of newspaper saying that they have a hardware, good hardware, they have a good things with them. Then he gave a call to them saying that I know you have a good hardware, but we have with good software for it. We have a good software for it. That's what he told. Then they were interested. Okay, then we will have a talk. We will have more conversation. And after understanding their thing, then only Bill Gates started writing the code. And because there is no propositions, because it should not be like I have a code with me, then only I should go and teach with me. Because in entrepreneurship, we should know what is going to be more interesting, how will be the future. These all things going to be very important, remarkable things in our life. Very clear. We have to be. We have to take actions. We have to be progressive, or we have to keep moving forward. And one more thing I will tell to the young buds who is on the crossroads: don't always think about the big things to start. Start in a small way. If you take an example of the Google, now it's if we say Google is one of the biggest company. They started in 1998, September 4th. That's what's the beginning. Larry Page and Serge Brin was the founders. They were doing the PhD in the Stanford University, California. But they have a clear idea. They have had a clear knowledge. They started very, very, very in a small way. In the initial stage, they did their shop or the things even in the garage, small garage. And the initial stage, they thought to sell their products to Yahoo, and the conversation didn't go on through. That's the reason they didn't sell, or the Yahoo didn't understand what the clear idea behind this. And the name also, initially the Google's name also was not exactly Google. If you search in the internet, you can say it's a Google. Google is after 100 zeros, something like that. So when somebody starts searching, the Google's meaning is going to get that. So that they changed it to Google. So now earlier it's Google is a name of the company. Now it's a verb. Just Google it. We used to say that. Just to Google it. So to the young minds, to the people who are in the crossroads, please don't be hesitant, because that's if you can take out the thing from your mind, mind blocks from your mind, you can be a real entrepreneur. Otherwise, yeah, entire life you should be as an employee. That's the thing, difference between employee and the entrepreneur. If you are courageous, if you can take a little bit of risk, calculated risk, definitely you can be a good entrepreneur. Keep moving, keep forward. A small, at least try to start in a smaller way.
Thank you, Mr. President. Of course, you explained in a very simple way and with a very good example. Yeah, we should be passionate, ability to take the risks, innovation, visionary, and know your product. As you say, Google and the Lord of the Fire and Gun in a very simple way. I hope this will be clear a lot of the confusion and a lot of the questions of young minds where to start and how to start. So now moving ahead, entrepreneurship is business innovation and operation optimization. How could we achieve both? And could you give an example of blending of both, Mr. President?
Uh, innovation and optimizations. Okay. So I would say optimization is standard operation procedures utilized to the maximum potential. So that's always should be there for a successful business. So in my business, I would say that most here where our business, my ancestor business is there. I live in a village. It's not at all a town. It's a small village. Near to my home, maybe half kilometers. My business enterprise is there. The hotel is there. So we are running a little bit of not considering this is a village. We have a little bit more into the classified hotel. It's high end. We say in this village it's a high end hotel. So the technology, the innovation, what we used here, that's may not be the innovations. That's the technology. What we use here is we used the cart in the. I would say in the 2000 beginning itself, we started using the cart system in our where even only the 5-star properties only will be using those cart systems in the business. So when I wanted to order the card swiping, entering to the room, hotel room, we have to use the card. That was the technology. Now it's very common. Those days, when I approached the card dealing company, they said, Mr. Shine, are you sure you want to order this That's what this question. Are you sure you want to question this? You want to order this product? I said, of course, I want to order this because that's made a lot of optimizations, like a lot of savings for me in terms of further process of verifying all those things, because we know when somebody has entered, no burglary, no unnecessary going into the room. We know exactly when somebody gone, when came out, how many days it's occupied, who handled which card. A lot of statistics also will be getting to me. So that's something very good. One example I will say about the technology or innovations what we used, because we dare, somebody will not dare to do something like that in a small village like us. So it's like a standard operation procedure, maybe in one property, where larger the risk, the standard operating procedure will be in detail. For example, if I say the rocket launching station, even a minute second is very important. So like you started the interview like 1, 2, 3, like that. In the rocket launching station, they will be having count on 10, 9, 8, because even the second detailing the standard operating procedures is very important. So that's something is there in the business. Innovation, if I say about the innovations, you all will be knowing India's Infosys. It's a fastest growing company in 30 companies. It's the fastest growing company, and Narayan Murthy is the key persons behind that. He always used to say, your survival directly proportionate to the quality of ideas. Think of differentiation, he always have a emphasis. So that's always there. If you are not making some innovations in your enterprise, then it's going to be very difficult to sell your products. It's easy to sell our products. That's what I want to say. In this lockdown time, Netflix is the most one of the Zoom, Netflix all had a good things because they used the technology. They had a lot of innovations, because taking this all into consideration, you may be knowing that innovations have a great place in entrepreneurship.
Perfectly, President Sign. Of course, in that days, when you take the risks and launch that key system, Mr. President, it's a very creative that is, and we can sense now you are very risk-taking and very creative. So, of course, there should be a number of variety of quality of ideas to have innovation and to blend this optimization. So now a lot of the listeners are listening that how we can take the idea in a different blending motion and different blending process. And taking ahead, what role does entrepreneur performs in economic development of nation? And as a long experience, well, why and how they should be promoted, Mr. President?
Okay, so in simple words, for entrepreneurs, I would say they are the wealth generators. They are the wealth generator. Entrepreneurs means wealth generators. If we name the government have very limited wealth generation things. Their basic duty is basic thing is wealth dispensers. They are wealth dispensers. They will evade. They will take tax. They will distribute, they will manage entire system, but they are not the wealth generators. They are wealth dispensers. So entrepreneurs are the wealth generators. So that means the crust, the main thing in the entrepreneurial thing. That's if somebody, some government is going to support the entrepreneurs and giving their a lot of platform, like if the government is giving a lot of infrastructure, government is supporting the entrepreneurs in exemplary way, the possibility of that country to succeed or to be number one is much higher than the other country. But sadly, some countries, some places, entrepreneurs are treated as the milk cow, only to generate tax. Some places they will not treat them as good positions. That's something. Some places it's sometimes makes us feel sad. So seed funding should be there to support, because now the scenario is somebody have a very good idea, good innovative thing in their mind. Idea can change your life. That's what we used to say. So if somebody have a good idea, if they have a good innovations, they have the good products, government or somebody should have the seed funding facility. That means if the product is going to succeed, it's going to generate wealth. I will say in JCI also, we should give a little bit more. JCI, one of the areas of opportunity for JCI members is the business. Definitely, business is playing a big role in JCI. But at the same time, I felt we should have more opportunity for the members to have a little bit more value additions as a member to be into the business. So members will have a good network. They can get a more revenue, or more, can be economically more stable. They can support the society in a little bit more way, good way. Because JCI is a fantastic international platform. It's having 120 countries network. If we utilize our membership in a good way, members also will have a good opportunity to have a good collaborations among the different places. My new projects is coming is mainly on networking to collaborate different people from different part of the world. That's what my new projects is going on. So overall, if I'm saying that economic development is the basic thing in terms of the government entrepreneurs are doing. So they should have the proper treatment in what they are doing. That's what I want to specifically tell you now.
Thank you, Mr. President. Hope in your new project, we also can be the part of the project and contribute, and we can enhance our future also. So moving ahead, Mr. President, now we know a lot of things about how and what's the idea and what the role of entrepreneurship and entrepreneurs. So now, what according to you are the winning strategy for a successful entrepreneurial business, Mr. President?
Your ability to utilize technology is one thing, or your ability to do your thing in unmatching way, second, or your ability to access capital. These are the three components. I would say you should have to have a successful thing in this present scenario. Your ability to utilize technology, technology plays a important role nowadays. Unmatching way, like you should have an unmatching way otherwise, or you should have ability to access capital. That's a very important thing nowadays. Recently, in one person called Baiju, we have from Kerala only. There is a applications called Baiju's app. So he was basically a maths teacher, mathematician, and he's basically a maths teacher, exemplary, very good mathematics teacher. But now his capital, we cannot imagine, it's a billion and billion, because he came up with the technology to teach students the best way in good propositions. That's what he came up. Recently, in this lockdown time, the Facebook took some shares from his company. That's much popular he is now. So the technology is going to play a big role in the current scenario. Airbnb uses a lot of technology, breakfast and bread. They are using. So people are forced. If I don't have the technology, I will go and partner with them. So that's if somebody have the technology, they always will have an upper hand in this current scenario. I will say some more things in the process for the clarity. Think clearly, organize resourcefully, plan carefully, prepare religiously, execute effectively, and finally rejoice gracefully. That's something you should be as an entrepreneur who is a little bit settled. You should practice this. Think clearly. The clarity of the thought is very, 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 very important. Organize resourcefully, plan carefully, prepare religiously, execute effectively, rejoice gratefully. So use this so that you can be very good in what you are doing.
Of course, Mr. President, the 6 points are very important. And yes, this is a technological word. So technology, using technology, unmatching the way, and access of ability is all the capital. These are very crucial points. So now we get this crucial point. And now, of course, the listener who listening this all will have the strategy for his business or her business success ahead. So moving ahead, so we're enjoying this interview, and we are having very good insight and outside of entrepreneurship. So now, Mr. President, so business is all about profit maximization through cost minimization. So what ethical practice would you suggest to the entrepreneurs to balance both, Mr. President?
Of course, it's a dollar saved is as good as a dollar earned. I have no doubt in it. A dollar saved is as good as a dollar earned. So somebody will be always running behind profit. They will be running behind the profit, but they should know at the same time if they can cut short their expenses, that's the same profit or more profit they are going to gain. That's for sure. Here, I would say in the ethics parts. Moreover, people might have done a lot of types of business priority in their entrepreneurship, but I would say in the future, whatever entrepreneur you were, you should follow these priorities: planet, people, then profit. I will repeat: planet, people, and profit. For all the entrepreneurs, your first priority should be the planet, because without our nature, without our planet, we are not going to survive. That's a great lesson we all learn from this crisis time. Ruthless people always will go for the profit. Yeah, people will be second and the planet will be third. For example, if I'm a hockeyer, there is something like a sewage treatment plant. All the water is running out from the premise should be treated before sending to the main sewage canal. But many people may neglect it because they are, maybe they can reduce increase the profit. When we say maximization of the cost, maximization of the profit, they can take out unnecessarily cost like this. Should not be like that. First, even if you think that profit maximization through cost reduction, definitely we should go in this way: planet first, people, and profit. Because if you put this wastewater and people, it's contaminate the other drinking water and all those things, again, this is going to affect our nature. So profit should not be always the motive, but at the same time, you can be reduce the cost, maximize the profit. At the same time, I would suggest you prioritize your business in the order of planet, people, and profit. The other way, and another way for maximizing your profit with cost reduction, standard operating procedures. If you can make a good standard operating procedures, increase the presence of technology in your enterprise, increase artificial, now the new technologies, artificial intelligence. Earlier days, earlier, I think it's just had a bit. Earlier, we used to, just a moment. Earlier, we used to spend a lot of money on the advertisements. We will be giving a visual media, we will be giving in the print media, we will be giving a lot of expenditure, we will be spending for the marketing cost. When this artificial intelligence came, now the enterprises knows where to spend and how to spend, which is their target audience. When somebody is searching for hairstyle, the people who is in the trade of something related with the hair, the advertising can come in their screen. Why they want to spend sending the visual media and so they can reduce their budget of advertisement. They can reduce the expense of the marketing in drastically if they are wise enough in using in technology. That's what I want to say now.
Perfect, Mr. President. So as you say, this is the time where AI should be used, and we get different analytics from different platform also. This is a very useful time for us also. So now in this pandemic COVID-19 time, like entrepreneurship is an economic activity that emerges and function in a sociological and cultural environment. So how do you see that state of entrepreneurship in this current situation, in this crisis, Mr. President?
Yeah, I would say in this current situation, long-term planning perceptions affected. Long-term planning. Uh, uh, Somebody who is trying to plan for 5 years, 10 years earlier, we used to teach people you should have a plan for 5 years, you should have a plan for 10 years. But that's not going to work in this pandemic time. That's for sure. Work on short-term goals is the good strategy in this pandemic time. Work for short-term goals is the good strategy, because whatever we all say now, uncertainty is still there. And when we take the history of humankind, we all have recovered, we survived, but with a lot of mortality in it. So a lot of uncertainties are there. I have my own doubts in these situations, how it's going to affect drastically in our scenario. But at the same time, my single point, whether it's the social, cultural environments, or is there, work on the short-term goals, whether big business, small business, self-employment, and all those things. Just think for few months, work on it, make survival of your property, make slight changes in the thing, and make a little bit move forward. That's only we want in this COVID-19 pandemic time.
Thank you, Mr. President. Of course, in this pandemic time, we should make to first the survival and making the project and making us just moving ahead. So now, in overcoming these all challenges and conflicts in this present situation, Mr. President, what are the tips on managing an entrepreneurial team and also self-employment, like a whole in a team as a self-employment in both two area? So what are the tips for managing this all?
uh, the tips. So it's like I would say it's a belief system will make all the changes. Belief system of the human mankind is very unique. I would say an example. We pretend that the vaccine is here. I ordered a vaccine for this COVID-19, and it's going to arrive us in 3 months. What will be my belief system? My belief system will tell me that okay, somehow I have to manage 3 more months so that I am going to get the vaccine so that I will be saved from this great pandemic and I'll be out from this. Somebody who, and the belief systems, we believe that this thing is not going to have any vaccine in near 1 year. Our belief systems will going to work in a different way. But our mankind has proved, the history have proved that we all will going to overcome this. One thing we have to understand in this COVID-19 thing is that death is not all of a sudden. Death is not the full outcome of this COVID-19. So it may happen or may not happen. So we have the options definitely in front of us, living together with the COVID system until we have the COVID vaccinations or some medicines for that. We should have good options with us. We should use that. Best body defense system. We should develop the best body defense system. nobody can beat the immune system. So that's it's good if we have that virus inside also. The body defense systems is going to fight against it. And technical term, they will say how much load of the virus you have determines the infections you will be having. Uh, the load of virus inside you means makes you mild, medium, moderate, and in high risk. So reduce the viral load, do the precautions, do the defense systems. But when we look into the past, countries have spent more not on the health system. That's surprising for us. They spent more on the borders to protect the line of control of the countries. They spent more on the militaries, armies, navies. They spend more on not on the medical hospital improvement system. They spend more on purchasing missiles and all those things. That has to be changed. So it's all when we see the situations of the New Zealand, they earlier days they have declared that they didn't have the virus inside their country. Now it little bit is they have a little bit more cases, but definitely we are going to survive from this. Uncertainty still is there. In many processes going to happen. That's for sure. Big companies learned how to run without big offices. That's a good learning. They learned with technology how they can do all these things. What they were so they might have sell their properties. They don't need to give a good rent, big rent, what they are giving. So the process, overall process is going to change. So I think we should slow down the process, should not be in a hurry. If you are not in the correct process, if you are, it's not hardly affected you, the COVID-19, you can move on. But if you are hardly affected with the COVID-19, slow the process, just keep moving forward step by step in short-term goals.
Yeah, of course. As Mr. President said, the belief system should be always there. So, President, you have the experience of traveling whole the globe with this, networking with the whole GCI and members. Is there anything in this networking who can generate the business and support, and also any idea you have seen that, oh, that should be the clicking part for GCI, so we can have the business idea as entrepreneurship, starting as entrepreneurship. Is there anything, Mr. President?
Yeah, in my travel, during the presidency itself in 2014, I saw a lot of decision makers who playing in the very big role, and they are proud to say that they are the JCI alumni. There are a lot in JCI movement. JCI definitely is a leadership organization. So I found in our events, we should have more platform for business networking. We should have more people to have business talks. They should have a platform for business collaboration. And definitely, we have a twinning ceremony, twinning happening in the, but basically it's for cultural exchange and other things, not for the entrepreneurial things. So business leaders are there in the in JCI. Many people in when I travel, they were asking me about the entrepreneurship. They are they never been as an entrepreneur. They were employed, they were working for in something, but they wanted to be an entrepreneur. But I always suggested we start in a smaller way so that they can progress, or else should be drastic. Because if when I was born in a business family, the conversation what we do in the home itself have a lot of information about the business. But somebody who is in as an employee who is working now don't have any such clue in their things, so that they don't have any clue of the entrepreneurs. The theory itself will not work. So that the practical experience, the thing which we stepping into the thing, may have a lot of things to learn. So I always used to tell to them that you start a little bit in a small way, but if you have a sparkling, very unique idea, go for it. Even if you don't bother about the bigger risk. That's what I used to say. General comments about this is JCI should always have also should consider business as one of the main thing for the youngsters to collaborate.
Thank you, Mr. President. As you say, this year we have the term connects together future forward. That's what your point and comes in together. In GSA, there are a lot of networks, a lot of connection. So this year our CP had put this point. So that's a very enhancement. So now we are in our end of our session, Mr. President. So thank you for all this insight outside for entrepreneurship and all the ideas, strategies, struggle point, everything. So do you like to add anything as a conclusion, Mr. President?
I would say I would once again say that JCI is a very good platform. It's 18 to 14 years people who have the same wavelength. They have the same mission. Their mission is empowerment. So let entrepreneurship also be one of the main thing to have the empowerment, because shift of the mindset who is working as an employee is very important. So the entrepreneurial knowledge transfer, because it's going to be the wealth generator for any country. So for us also, if we have some platforms to give knowledge, in JCI moment we don't have international scenario I'm speaking about. We don't have any syllabus for decision makings and all those things. It's all should be the part. If we have a area of opportunity as a business, we should have that. I wish that our organization also will be having a very strong network in terms of business. Last week, I had a conversation with the Secretary General. They are in the process of developing a very good website for us. They are taking into consideration of artificial intelligence, statistics, and all those things to get connected with the members. The website will be helping our members to connect one to one. That's what they were telling to me. So that's I wish that has to come at the earliest, so that's our members start doing in this pandemic time. It's will be a great relief for our members to get connected in this time.
Thank you, Mr. President. Of course, it's very good to know that we're having a new website from you, and we're very excited to also. And it's my honor to moderate a session with you today, Mr. President. And I want to thank you for valuable time, very precious time you're giving for APDC. And we're having the very good session regarding entrepreneurship. Now we're at the end of the session. So APDC is very pleased and thankful for your precious time, President Sain. Thank you and namaste.